Journeys to Awaken Living, where transformation, healing, and alignment come alive. I am your host, Yali Giovanni, a holistic wellness guide here to share tools, wisdom, and conversations that awaken your highest self. This is your invitation to live fully, consciously, and in the flow with life. Today, I have two amazing guests, and y'all, we were cracking up before we came alive here to record and share the information with you all. I have Miss Tammy and Miss Toya, who are doulas, and we will be sharing not only about birth, but also about death and what that looks like to a mom and what we can do to support. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with Tammy and then we'll flow to Toya and then we'll go from there. So, Tammy, share a little bit about what brought you into the doula space.
Just my own experience of being a mom and giving birth, having a doula present for myself, made me more aware of the things that we do and how we help moms before giving birth, during birth, and even after, and so many other options that we have. But my own experience kind of helped me or direct me into becoming a doula.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Gratitude for sharing. Toya, how about you? What brought you into the space of doula?
My cousin, which I call my sister, Shelly-Ann, she brought me into the space. She experienced a loss and then she experienced a live birth. And I was there for both. And the experience just brought me into the field. So I want to help more people go through that experience as well. And with my own experience, I experienced a loss as well. And she was there to support me through it. So now I'm able to support mom that experienced a loss.
That's beautiful to share. And the reason why I say that because it's a perfect segue into the segment about loss. As a mom, I have experienced loss myself, but some people are okay with it and some folks can't bounce back from it. I didn't want it. My tubes were tied and I happened to be pregnant. I was 4 months. They told me I was 4 months pregnant and in between life and death. Didn't even know it. I just knew I had excruciating pain. My mom had just transitioned, and I was actually in New York dealing with my mom's health while she was in the hospital on the way to Ascension. And not even knowing that I was on the way to Ascension, my dang gone self, you know. But when I came back, at the time I was living in Florida, I was at work and I went to the bathroom and I could not get up off that seat. And thankfully, one of my coworkers, who's also a friend of mine, Joyce, she noticed that I didn't come back and came into the bathroom and checked on me. And that's how I ended up at the ER one. And the doctor saying that I got there in time because I was slowly dying and didn't even know it. So it's beautiful that you are able to share that experience because not too many people are open to share that because it's so deep. It can be dark. It's hurtful. Regardless if you
Yeah.
were ready for that baby or not, it's still hurtful because it's a loss, right? So Toya, would you like to share a little bit about your experience?
Well, a lot of people grieve differently. It depends on what they're going through in their life at the time too, if they're open to share. Because I wasn't willing to share immediately. You know, it took me a while as well to process everything that was
Right.
going on, what was going on in my marriage and stuff like that. So it's not
Mhm.
easy. You have to understand that every person grieves
Right.
differently, whether, as you say, they wanted that pregnancy or not. We wasn't planning to become pregnant. It just so happened because at one point I thought I wasn't able to get pregnant. So we're like, oh, it's a surprise. It's not the case that we weren't ready, but he didn't know how to handle the loss and all that was going on, and they don't know how to process it. Talk about it. You know, men grieve differently. They're not really
Yeah.
open. While I would talk about it and stuff like that, he wouldn't. So I was about 9 weeks. Couldn't sit down. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. Just had this bad
Yeah.
pain, and I went to the hospital, to the emergency room, and they're like, "You're pregnant." But my HCG level kept dropping every day. It kept dropping, and they were just like, keep coming back, and then so low that there's nothing they could do. They do the ultrasound and everything, and it's just nothing that they said they could do. So they gave me a shot, passed the fetus
Hmm.
through, let it for a while, and that actually led into my yoni steaming business. Because my mom, she had me steam, and I never heard about steaming, doing a vaginal, a
Yeah.
yoni steam. So after I, bled the baby out and everything, my mom made me yoni steam, and that's how I started that yoni steaming business. See, so out of that could become, my
Yeah.
business. So I did that, and then I also do support women that go through loss.
How did you experience your grief? Did you shut down? Did you said
I
it took a
did
minute
kiss it
for
at
you
first.
to even share about it, but how did you grieve?
Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
cried. I'm a very private person. Nobody in my family would tell
Mm-hmm.
you that. I won't talk a lot, but I'll always be there for other
Yeah.
people. So I kind of shut down because I didn't share it with anyone. My sister Shelly knew that she was the one to call because she experienced it like years before, and I
Oh,
supported her. So the only person I would call was her, and my mom knew. But my mom is not the person that's gonna. She's so old school
She don't
okay.
Jamaican.
tell
They
you,
don't
get over
talk
it.
about
Yeah.
serious. Yeah, they don't wake up or nothing. Because even with the loss, she was there for me. She let me steam. She made me soup. But she would never. She cried. She cried harder than I did, as if she was the one that experiencing the
Wow.
loss. But she would never come and talk to me and say, you would get through this. It's okay. I'm here for you, even though she was here for me physically, doing everything for
Words.
me.
She wasn't there. Words of
Words, she wasn't
encouragement.
word, but her action was very good because she would make sure that steam. She blend up some aloe vera and some stuff to give me to drink, but I threw it up. But she was there physically. But you want that words to it does something to you. So when I need that word, I would call my sister, my cousin, but I call my sister Shelly, and she would be my backbone with encouragement words. So you get through this, Toya. It's gonna be all right, and da 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 da. So she was there. She was there for me, but my mom was there
That's
physically.
good.
So that's how I get through it. But even to
Mm-hmm.
today, a lot of my family members don't know about it. It's just like those in the close circle knows.
Okay. So now when you're assisting moms that are grieving, what are some steps or whatever information that you share with them so that they can find some console in the experience, in the process of it all?
The most thing that helpful the most is just me just sitting there letting them cry and let
Yeah.
them talk. And just host that alone is so powerful. It's like
Yeah.
unbelievable. Just being in the room, sitting with a mom and let her cry and talk and just hug her and comfort her. That alone is like more powerful, that
Right.
word.
Yes. Presence, a lot of us overlook the importance of presence, right?
Yeah.
And holding space. Sometimes we think that we need to talk, and oftentimes we don't even have to say anything. It's just,
They'll say a word. Yeah.
and knowing
You
that you
don't.
have a support system, regardless if it's conversation or it's just a person just sitting there with you. Holding space is so powerful that I encourage folks not to overlook it. If you're going through it, regardless if you're pregnant or not, because I know this is a doula segment and we're talking right now about grief and we're going to go into birth, but it's understanding that we have to embrace the moment of peace, the
Yeah.
moment of
Yeah.
silence,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? Because we're conditioned that something has to be
Keep
going,
moving. Keep moving. Yeah.
right?
Keep that don't
Yeah.
work.
I have done. Yeah,
It
it don't
doesn't
work like
work
that.
like
I have done sessions where I'm talking,
that.
talking, talking, and the person is just tuning
Yeah,
me out. But once I'm quiet and they know I'm there and they're crying, and
yeah,
that's it. I
Yeah.
don't have to say, and that's all. I want to say, like, for anyone that's listening and you don't know someone that experienced a loss, don't tell them that. At least you could get pregnant,
Again. You're right.
yeah,
you know,
No.
or you could try again, and don't say stuff like that. Just if you don't have nothing to say,
Just sit
just
there.
sit there
Yeah.
in silence.
Because in
yeah,
that moment, that's not what you want to hear.
They
Yeah,
want to
we
hear,
already know
right?
we have the chance to do it again, but we don't want to hear that in that
Yeah,
moment. We don't, like you say, either give words of encouragement that's not that, or just sit there and hold them and give them a hug. Sometimes a hug it'll let everything go. But it's a slow
yes,
process. You can't
yeah,
just say at least you can.
yeah,
No, at least it's the worst part of it all. At least you
absolutely.
can do it again. No, maybe
No,
somebody can't
yeah.
do it
So
again. We don't know that.
exactly.
in my case, it didn't happen
Right.
again,
Right.
right? And I've been trying for a while. It didn't happen again. I'm like, okay, I'm not trying no more. So what is to
Yeah,
be will
Right.
and there
be.
you go.
I had courage to help
And there
others.
you go. Because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, everything has an assignment,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
And which is why it's important to understand stillness. Because if you're working against the machine, it's not going to happen. Nothing is going to flow the way it should be because you're rushing against the machine.
just,
But when you sit still and you like, okay, I'm not even going to try anymore, it comes to you unexpectedly, and you're
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, this can
Mhm.
happen. Yes,
Yeah.
it can.
It's
Right? So
more
thank you.
joyful instead of stressing yourself sometimes
Yeah.
about it. And it could be that you're under the stress or the pressure of keep trying and trying and trying that you're not prospering with it. So
Right.
sometimes you just gotta wait.
yes, I mean,
Yeah,
it.
it's stressful, right?
Yeah, that's it. you're under stress in your body, and your body is too stressed out. You know, that's all you're
Right.
thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take it a step even further. Sometimes the partner is not the person you should be multiplying with.
There you go.
That's
There you go.
try to get a woman that's so in love, and
For
this is the
me,
one
and
for me. This one is God. Then we could go back in
Yes.
time too. Is the blood type not the same too? It's
That's
harder.
a big part of it.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So yeah, and that's another thing that sometimes I talk to, my clients is like, yeah, I know you love this person, but sometimes you need to
But then
pause and I need you to make a list,
Mhm.
pros and cons. Sometimes, people be like, oh my God, a list, that is, no, that actually helps to clear some things,
Mhm.
right? Because now you're passing the emotional and you're connecting the logical and you're bringing a balance so that
Yeah.
you can understand where is the disconnect and why there's a disconnect. I
Mhm.
don't have to tell you that. No one else has to tell you that. But if you take that minute to pause and actually analyze it yourself, you'll understand and you'll have more, you will have a connection as to what is not working to either remove yourself from the situation or just sit back and watch the situation some more
Exactly.
before going forward.
right.
So gratitude for sharing, Toya, because I know that wasn't easy for
Yes.
you to share.
Mhm.
Gratitude. Tammy,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
said your experience was at home. You had a home birth with
Yes.
your second child.
Yes.
So tell us a little about that, because I thought that was beautiful.
Oh my God, I'm getting chills myself just reliving it in my head already. Like, amazing experience. I don't even know how to explain it. It just was so amazing. Like the time that I was able to just labor, like I
Yeah.
didn't have to feel rushed. And
Mm-hmm.
some hospitals, in my experience, has been willing to let the moms labor as they want, but very few.
Yeah.
So when I look at them and I'm thinking of my own, and I'm just like, if only I could get them to understand like the beauty in like fully natural, not just, I'm pushing vaginally, but I'm medicated at the same time.
Right. Right.
But the experience for me, each one was different. I had 3 at home, one was in the hospital, but each one was different in its own way. The first one, I can say it was smooth. Everything was like a surprise, but it was so smooth. It was an
Mhm.
experience for me, my oldest daughter, and my husband and my mom. But it was such a breeze. Like I labored from the night before, but
Mhm.
all throughout the day, my best friend was there too. And it's like as soon as my daughter got out of school is when I birthed. Like it was like almost immediately. I'm like, so you were waiting on your sister?
Yes.
I'm like, you took me through all of this till
Yes.
she should have got her out early. Because what is this? So it was like I was like, oh my God, it was so beautiful. And then I also had a photographer who came in. So I still have those memories.
Nice.
Everything just came together for me. Like
Yeah.
from not knowing what I was gonna do or how I was gonna give birth, like I was
Mhm.
just gonna do it on my own to like actually having a team. It
Yeah.
was just so much better than what I experienced. And I'm not knocking all hospitals,
Right.
but my experience in a hospital was not good. And some births that I've been to have been better than mine. So
Okay.
I don't go and approach and say, hey, don't do it in a hospital. No.
Right.
Because sometimes they work well with doulas,
Yeah.
but not my experience.
Not great experience. Anyway, but what has been
Right,
your
right.
experience?
So, but then even after that, I had the same midwife all the way through,
Mm-hmm.
and the same everything, the photographer, the doula, all of the things, and it
Mm-hmm.
was amazing. All 3. Now I can't say my son was a little bit tough, and I
Okay.
was like, I was calling on the hospital to come get me. See how things change for you. Like, y'all gotta take me to the hospital because something ain't right. But that one was a bit tough. Even my midwife said, Tammy, this one was rough.
Yeah.
But I just look at it as, thankfully everything.
How many with
How
your
many,
son?
huh?
How many weeks did you go with your
All of them,
son?
I was over 40. I think I was like 41 with him. The
Okay.
girls, I was I think 42 with the girls. I want to say, I can't really remember. I went a 40, 41, 42 range. I mean, that was
Okay.
another thing that I was grateful for.
Mhm.
It just happened.
Yeah.
So I had the full on ouch, get this baby out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, all of the things work. You just got to trust your body sometimes. And I know not all moms have that or have the support, or even
Yeah.
when we're there supporting, it's always someone else. Not always, but it's someone else who's telling them, oh, the doula's not going to do what you need. Oh, you need to get this. Oh, you need to do that. This is what I did.
Yeah.
No, if anything, if I'm going in telling them this is what I did, you need to have a home birth. No, everybody can't birth the same way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everybody just having a C-section is not a generational thing. Like, I don't know why some people come in and try to make it that way. And I'm like, just because your mom had it does not mean you have to have one.
Right.
Just
Right.
because your mom had the baby had you at 25 weeks, don't mean you're going to have your baby at 25
Right.
weeks, So all of those things, if we could work together, and sometimes I just feel like maybe 2 doulas at a time, but for first visits to empower the moms would even help, to
Okay.
give them that okay to be like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
Okay, I said I'm going in a
Do it,
hospital
yeah.
and I'm going to do it this way. I can do it,
Absolutely.
all the encouragement that we can give, all the support that we can give when they don't have the support is amazing, because I've experienced when I had like the midwife, the assistant, and the doula, and then my own support,
Right.
that works well in any setting. So, yeah.
And you've been a practicing doula for the past 4 years.
Yes.
What would you say has been a challenge for you as a doula, assisting moms or coaching moms through birth at home versus the hospital? Have Are the challenges the same, or have you experienced any challenges at all? Because I don't want to assume either that everyone is experiencing a challenge throughout the birthing experience.
The only challenges, whether hospital or home, is always somebody else, another family member. It's
Yeah.
never, I can't say in the 4 years that it has been anyone in the hospital or
Okay.
anyone of the assisting or medical team or anything like that. The only challenge has always been family who's been there from they were babies, and they're telling them these tales that's not true.
Yeah.
You tell them to research, but they researching TikTok. And
Right.
it's like,
Yeah. I was gonna
I
mention that,
was
but I was gonna
like,
wait till you finish.
no, TikTok is not the answer, baby. TikTok and your grandma, it's not the answer. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Sometimes I'm like, I have to ask them, who's going to be in the room? Are they supportive of what you want?
Yeah.
If not, I prefer them not be in the room. When it comes down to it, do you want me and your partner, or do you
Right.
want do you want your partner and your mom?
Hmm.
It cannot be someone who's not gonna encourage you to do what you want, because that holds back from you delivering too. That
Right.
gives you pressure and pain in your laboring. That
Yeah.
worries you, that stress, that tension. It does not help your process along the way. So if you're gonna decide to have these people who are not encouraging, we can't do this way,
Right.
So my challenges has always been fighting a family member, not fighting like physically or
No, I
arguing.
know. Mhm.
No, we're not doing that.
That's how you flex. Go
We're
ahead.
not doing that. But just letting them know, like, you have to have people who support your decision, and you don't have to tell them what you want all the time.
Right.
You can share it with your partner and me.
Hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
You don't have to share it with your family. Like when I even going into doing home birth,
Hmm.
I had to make my grandma laugh, because she was like, "You can't have no baby at home." I said, "Grandma, you probably had my mom on the porch with the well water," and she laughed so hard, man. I'm like, "Yeah, so I can do this, Grandma." And she was like, "Get out of here." I'm like, "Yeah, Grandma,
Yeah.
I can do it," and I did it 3 times. Like, what are you talking about? So you got to have that support, and then you have to be able to put your foot down. Even though I had to tell my grandma in that way, and it was a joking manner because of respect, right?
Yes.
But you still have to let them know, this is
Yeah.
my decision, and this is
Absolutely.
what I'm gonna do. So
Respectfully.
that has only been the challenge has only been through family.
Okay.
It's sad to say,
Yeah.
but that has been the only challenges really for me.
What about you, Toya, as a practicing doula?
In family and the
Oh,
doctors.
okay. So what has been your experience with the doctors?
They don't inform the client what they're gonna do, they just do it.
Okay.
Mm,
And because we try to teach the clients to advocate for themselves, even though
Yeah.
we're there, so the doctor is coming
Hmm.
from them, right? So this is why childbirth education is very important.
Hmm.
which is lacking. And when you tell a mom, hey, take childbirth
Yeah.
education class. Oh, I know what my body know what to do. I'm gonna attend a class or whatever. And then when you get in the birth room, you don't know
screaming.
nothing. You can't advocate
Yeah.
for yourself, and they're gonna do whatever.
And I'm glad you said that.
So I almost got with a doctor because she don't break my client water without asking her if she could break the water.
Wow.
And she paid. I'm like, you're a doctor. I'm not gonna be arguing with you, but we asking you the station of the baby before you break the water is very important. She gonna tell me, oh, because I'm a doctor, I wouldn't break the water if I didn't see feasible. Anyways, they already knew she was
Yeah.
gonna end up in a C-section. I told my client that's exactly what happened. You break a water, nigga,
Yeah.
it's 3 station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Still
far
you
up,
can't do
you
nothing
know.
with that.
Tammy got more homebirth experience than I do, but I'm
Uh-huh.
mostly in the hospital, right? So for me, if doctors not providing that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. They just do it. And then I have client range from my youngest was what 20 something, like 20, all the way up to 42. My
Mhm.
oldest client. So the young ones, they always on TikTok. I'm like, you cannot go on TikTok to do. We in there doing birthing position. She going like, oh, let me pull up TikTok. You think I said? I'm like, God, that's what I'm here with you.
What am I here
for?
for if you was gonna use
But that was
TikTok anyway?
that was a cousin in the room saying, go on TikTok and find that. Oh, Lord,
Yeah.
here we go.
That is true as well. I wouldn't say it's a challenge for me because I kind of like zone out the doctors and stuff. And like, I'm always whispering in my client's ear before they even come in, or I often communicate with the nurses as well. Like, okay, like I don't take the paper birth plans or nothing. I just know what the client wanted. And I always say, okay, so these are the things you wanted. When they say this is what you say,
Yeah.
and I'm in their ear. I'm not letting everybody hear what we're talking about. This is what they're gonna say next. So this is what we're gonna do. Now, if you do this, they're gonna say emergency C-section.
Yeah.
There's no emergency unless they willing you out without telling you.
Right.
And so they know, like
Yeah.
I prepare them even before going in, and then while I'm there, I keep it in their memory. Like, hey, remember, even though this pain is here, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what you say, The doctors come in when they just want to rush and say, okay, push, push, push. And I'm like, you can push, but don't push too hard. You're going to tear,
Yeah.
go just like throwing them out. I guess that's why it's not a big of a challenge for me.
Mhm.
But that is true. They don't tell them, they don't communicate. They just do what especially if they're young. If they're young, they think they don't know nothing at all. So, and I've had some young
And
ones
that's
who
the
know
reason
more
why.
than me, and they like, oh no, Miss Tammy, we doing this, this, and this. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
whatever you say.
When I was working in OB-GYN, there was a physician that I work with that he always told his patients that C-section is the way. It's easy, quick recovery. That was what he was selling. It's a quick recovery. You have your baby and you get to go home because that was the easiest thing, right? So he made a lot of money suggesting C-section, a lot of money.
Yeah, I know. One cut, $100,000.
Yeah, a lot of money.
I may be over exaggerating the price, but like, why do that? Because that recovery is worse than recovering from just vaginal. Your body is really made to recover vaginally, not from
Absolutely.
a cut.
Yeah, yeah. So just observing that, and at the time, I didn't know how important it was for a woman to have a vaginal delivery because the conditioning again, oh, C-section, and they came in excited, I'm scheduled for my C-section. I'm scheduled for my C-section, and then after they deliver and they come back for their follow-up, it's like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain.
I can't even hold my baby.
Can't hold my baby, or the incision is so infected that they got to come every 2 days to ensure that it's cleaned properly and it's taken care of. So all of that, witnessing all that and then doing this work now, I have a greater understanding and appreciation of the difference, even though I've had my own.
It's like your eyes are more open with this.
Yes. And so like you said, the impact of what the mom wants versus what the doctor wants to do because they want to be in and out.
Yeah.
It's knowing the information. And in the area that I was working in, it was an affluent area. So they thought, C-section is just a marvelous thing to do until after they get it done and they're upset that he encouraged C-section. And then what they will do is that they will talk amongst themselves. This one is probably going to this doctor and why this doctor isn't pushing C-section like my doctor. And then it became a thing. So then, of course, he had to scale back on selling the C-section for a little bit, but then he came back full force again, selling the C-section because he was making that money and he was going on vacation often. Yeah,
That's why, because he want to get out of there.
absolutely. And I'm not saying because he's a male, that's why he was selling it, but that was my experience working first.
Yeah.
Female doctors who are selling it as well. Like, they are upset if you say you want to try to push. They are upset if you want to do a VBAC. They are upset and they just want to cut. They just scissor, cut, knife, whatever they're using, scalpel, happy to just and send you on your way because they don't have the time to sit there. Now,
It's
take it if it's needed. I understand, but just to
Yeah,
be
that's totally different. It's needed.
yeah, I'm scheduling you. This is your first baby. You got to have a C-section,
right. Your mom. So they use that because the patient is uninformed. So they use, oh, your mom had a C-section with you. Yeah, it's definitely you will need a C-section as well. Because that usually happens that way.
Yeah.
And they buy it.
Yeah. And then you have the mom who's there with them, and they'll be like, "See, I told you if I had one with you." Like, what?
Right.
Yeah, they'll know about
Yeah.
that.
It's not a history thing, okay? No, it's not a generational thing. It's not a generational thing. No, that's not how that happened.
I'm so thankful that mine will be generational though, because my daughter's already saying we doing like you, mommy. Yeah, and they're like, mommy. One of them says she's gonna be a doula. The other one's going to nursing school. She's like, Mom, how am I gonna go to nursing school with all this knowledge you've given me? And I'm like, you're gonna go.
It's totally different.
You're gonna go. You're gonna be quiet.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go to midwifery school.
Yeah.
That's it. Be quiet.
That's it.
And it's sad that we have to be like, well, no, that's not how that works. No, that's, and then you really don't have a voice. But I don't know. It's gonna. It's a sad case.
It is a sad case, but that's why the revolution of bringing back doulas and midwives is rising, because at the end of the day, people are realizing that this has been a money-making machine. And so we have been conditioned to believe that we have to be at the hospital. We got to have an OB to deliver a baby, or for us to go to the OB because that's who is supposed to be, that's who is trained to help us deliver, right? But when you look back in time and you do the research and you go back, you realize that obstetrics hasn't been a practice for that long. And so before obstetrics, then what was there? Midwives and doulas.
I can remember even in Jamaica being a little girl, I witnessed a home birth because that's how they usually have them. You call, they didn't call them midwife, but you call elderly and they say, hey, this person having a baby, come.
Yes. And you know what's coming back too? Now that you say that, Toya, I don't know how y'all are, but I'm gonna tell my age right now. When you could look at the stomach and you could tell it's a boy or girl.
Yeah.
Looking at this, you didn't need a sonogram.
No.
Yeah.
Or even still, you just surprised with whatever come out.
Because again,
right.
I use that today. I'm looking at your belly and I'm telling you what you have, and I'm not saying I'm not encouraging sonogram, ultrasound, whatever we want to call it. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that my practice is more holistic. So anything that I do, my approach is going to be on a holistic level as opposed to.
Also find out the sex of the baby without doing an ultrasound.
Yeah.
I forgot what this test is called. You could take it.
The blood test.
Yeah, because there's research to prove that ultrasound also cause, effect on the pregnancy because all that radiation and stuff going through.
It looks innocent, right? And what we selling is, oh, you can see what your baby's gonna look
3D.
like. 3D. This is.
I'm sorry, I had a 3D.
Listen, we are not here downing anybody that did the 3Ds and the 5Ds and the 2Gs. You heard? We're just sharing that there's other formats.
You can use.
That we can use, and it's not just this. This is, so my listeners, please don't feel as though that we're here bashing anybody, because we're not.
Oh, no.
And that's not the intention. We're just sharing experiences and knowledge that we know, so that you are informed that there's not only one way of things, there's many modalities and ways of approaching your pregnancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people always say it's not one way to skin a cat.
Right. There you go.
We know that.
What's so funny is I say that I'm not that old, but I say that because
we know.
Yeah, that's what I want to say because I have to say that because they understand, and then they still don't understand that, so I have to break that down. But that means it's other ways that you can do things. It's not just the way the world is showing us. You don't have to go to the hospital. You don't have to go to the doctor's office.
Right.
You don't have to get the ultrasound, like those things. So that's
Right.
what I mean.
Especially when it comes to induction, they scared of with the induction.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
And
come
that's
in and
adorable. That's
get this.
another sale.
It's optional.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
It's
not,
another
you don't
sale.
have high blood pressure, you're not diabetes, not
You don't
diabetic,
need it. You
don't
don't
let
need
them
it.
induce you.
Mm-mm.
At all.
Mm-mm.
At all. I had all three of mine natural, but at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Each time I got there, there was not enough time to do anything.
That's right. And that's where I be trying. I had one client.
Mhm.
I caught this baby. When I tell you she labored at home so much, so she had the baby at home. Like I had to catch the baby. I was walking in the door. We was gonna go get in the car. I had to catch the baby and call 911. The people
What?
was like, "Oh, your grandma, you know everything." I said, "I'm her doula." I'm the like grandma
That's
Jesus.
grandma,
I was like, wait a minute now. But
right?
I'm talking about like, oh my goodness. And the dad was just like, what do I do next? I'm like, give me the phone, call 911 so they can come and take her. And because we were on the way to the hospital, but she
Yeah.
was amazing with laboring, so much so that
Right.
it was done. Like when she got there, there wasn't nothing they could lie and say they got to give her all these machines and put her on
Nothing.
all this medication.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That was. I'm sorry to say, like I think that was my favorite birth out of all the.
I had one similar to, and that was the best one for me too, because that you
Beautiful,
have that
right?
one client they listen and want to do
Yes.
as natural as possible and labor at home long. Yeah,
Yes.
she did,
Yes.
and she went to the hospital because we were doing a count. The contraction is like back to back hour consistent count. So we good. We
Mhm.
went to the hospital. They said to her,
Mhm.
"We got to check you." She didn't want to do the cervical check, but then she she didn't want to go back home, so she said, "Okay, I'll do the cervical check." I did the cervical check. They said she was 2 centimeters, but she know her body. She's like, "Toy, this baby
Yes.
is coming."
Yeah.
Right? They held her for an hour, and then they sent her back home. Hour later, we home. She called me, "Toya, this is it. The baby's coming." So she and her husband got in the car, and they drive me. We trying to rush back to the hospital, and then she's like, "I gotta take my pants off." I'm like, "Oh shit, the baby's coming." She had the baby.
You want to take no pants off?
Yes, I'm like,
She
the
could have cut
baby's
a
coming.
hole or something. That baby was coming.
Yes, she had the baby in the car. You gotta listen to your body. She knows she's gonna have that baby, and
Yeah.
they send her home.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I be saying, that they don't ask about nothing; they just do.
Yeah.
So we came in ambulance because
She done
we
had the
had the
baby.
baby
They
in the car.
still want to give her
Yeah,
Pitocin.
they gave up Pitocin. So we were like, "What's that?" The nurse said Pitocin. I'm like, "We don't want the Pitocin." We both said at the same time. Like they don't ask; they
Wow.
just do.
They just
Yeah,
do.
she didn't want,
Yeah.
so she had to stop it. And that's what I'm like, because
Wow.
she wanted as possible. She had a home birth before. She had a midwife, but
Mm-hmm.
circumstances changed and stuff like that. So that's why she was able to labor at home as long as she wanted to
She
before going to
was.
the
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah.
She
Mm-hmm.
didn't want
Yeah.
no medication, no nothing. So that's why I'm like, it's still possible to do as natural as possible you can before going to the
Mm-hmm.
hospital.
Absolutely.
And you can't deny all these stuff. People think that you can't, but you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
my favorite one. Get you
It's a
that
matter of
baby.
unlearning. It's a
Mm-hmm.
matter of
Unlearning.
unlearning,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because for me, when I delivered my first daughter, I was 4 centimeters when the doctor was like, it's gonna be a while before the baby comes. And then he did the exam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a while. The minute that man took his hands out, turned around towards the door, I said, the baby's coming. He was like, no, it's a while. No, he closed the door.
About woman.
Came,
Baby, listen. Okay, so I do have a second one. Oh my God. This is the one that's called me back for this year. She was there laboring at the hospital because she had a high blood pressure and she said something else was wrong. But she was laboring and everything was good. When that baby was about to come, she kept saying, the baby is here. And they was like, just call us and let us know when the baby is here. Don't push. You
yeah,
can't.
don't, yeah,
I
you can't
can't.
do
I'm not
Yeah.
pushing. The baby is pushing itself.
Come in.
absolutely.
Yeah.
When I tell you the whole floor, probably the emergency came up. The baby was out. Y'all ever saw the episode of Martin when the baby fly out the vagina?
Yeah.
All it was like that. Like, and we had to like all catch like And I was just like, so she had her husband, her cousin, and me and her mom. And we were like, hey, like the nurse had just walked out. And she's told the nurse, like, and the nurse like, oh, just let me know and we'll come, but don't push because we got to get the doctor. A whole bunch of nurses had to come. No, the doctor was doing somebody else or something like that. Like you can't tell the baby to stop.
Yeah, you can't tell the
Man,
baby.
that was it was so beautiful though. It was funny. It was beautiful. It was all the things
These babies come when they ready. It's
when
not
they're
about us
ready.
Not with
what we
no
want.
doctor.
Right.
We can't
Yeah.
wait. We
Yeah.
can't wait. And I don't understand when they say that, like, don't push. We gotta wait for
Yeah.
the doctor.
Right. It's so much going against your body because you holding. You gotta listen to
Yeah.
your body and push it out.
Man,
I
that was
didn't even have to push. It just came out.
Okay, man.
And you know, oh. And then had the nerve to, like, because the nurse ran out. No, the baby's here. And so he comes back in. He's like, I told you not to push. I said, I didn't push. But I was only 19. So, like you
Okay.
said earlier, Tammy,
Yeah.
when they're younger, they think we don't know anything. And
Know
so we
nothing.
just follow rules. No,
Yeah.
I didn't push. I felt that pressure and that baby came out.
Yeah.
Came right out.
Yeah. I love it.
And
I
she came
love
out
it.
like this, y'all. She came out like this.
She still got that same attitude, huh?
Yes.
That is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Exactly. Because she's telling the doctor, I'm here.
I'm here. Like,
I'm here.
hey,
I'm here.
you don't run this. I'm running this.
Exactly.
Came out just like that. I couldn't believe it. But yeah,
Oh.
it's about, again, learning and unlearning
Mm-hmm.
what we need to know as opposed to following what the condition is. This was an amazing, amazing chat with you guys. Toya,
Yes.
any last words you would like to share with moms to be, whether they're grieving or whether they are going to deliver or whether they're going through the process of the pregnancy? What is one takeaway that you would want to share with a mom to be?
Stay off of TikTok. Get educated. Do a cyber education class. There's a lot. Don't think you have to pay a lot of money. You don't. There are a lot of free cyber education class out there. You could spend enough time on the phone doing all kind of stuff. Spend at least a week or two learning what's going to happen to your body, learning the changes you're going to go through. Not only prenatal, but also postpartum as well.
Yeah.
It's very important to know what you're going to go through. Your hormones going to be all over the place. You're going to feel off a little bit. Know why. Get a doula if you can. If you have insurance that has Medicaid, seek out a Healthy Start. Seek out to any doula you know and have them refer you somewhere. Just get a doula and see if you get a postpartum doula as well. You get some education. Education is very important for you to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's going to happen exactly as that, but at least if something is happening in your body, you know what to look for. What's the symptoms?
Yes.
Find somebody you could talk to if you're going through grief, especially if you experience a loss and pregnant now is going to have a baby. Don't let the fear of losing your first child think you're going to lose the second one as well. I support a lot of women that had stillbirth and had a miscarriage and got pregnant afterwards and have a baby. If you're looking for a doula, I'm here. Timmy's here. We all are here to support you in every way we can. Just to me, education is the biggest part because that's how you're able to advocate for yourself.
Awesome. Gratitude for sharing, Toya. Gratitude. Tammy, what is your takeaway?
For me, just when you do have a doula and you have that support person for you, make sure you're listening. Listen up not only to your body, but listen to your doula. Take direction because we've done the research, some of the research for you. So even if we're telling you to research just for your own read and your own good, and then whatever we know, we can combine that together. So just listen, cancel out all the outside noise and follow what your doula is saying. If you're serious about having a doula, don't just take it and say, hey, because it was free. Don't do that. We want to get educated because it's better than just going in there blind. And then if you're young, the doctor's just telling you whatever because they think you don't know. But when you step in there, you have someone to support you and know things. It's better. So follow the direction of what your doula says and cancel out all the noise of anyone else. That's what I would say.
Awesome. Awesome. Gratitude for sharing. And that is so true. Canceling out the noise is very important because it goes against what you want and desire for yourself. Because now you're allowing all this information to obstruct what it is that you want. And now you're doubting yourself and you don't think it's possible. Right.
And
So
that's
trust
exactly
yourself.
what happens.
Absolutely. Right.
Yes.
Always trust yourself, trust your gut feeling. And I will always encourage you to ask a lot of questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question.
Right.
No such thing.
Right.
Every question has an answer. Every question has an answer. I'm going to say it one more time. Every
Every
question
question
has an
has an
answer.
answer, and you
Okay.
have the right to say no to things in the hospital.
Absolutely. Gratitude, ladies, for joining us, and gratitude for joining me on this journey of awakened living. May the insights and practices we share today inspire you to live with more peace, presence, and purpose. If this episode touched your spirit, I invite you to share it, subscribe, and leave a review so that together we can awaken more lives. To connect more deeply, visit yaligiovanni.com. Follow Yali Giovanni across all social media platforms where you'll find resources, events, and holistic offerings to support your journey. Until next time, remember, your light is sacred, your journey is divine, and awakening begins within. Have a great day, guys.